If you've been holding Pi Network and wondering whether you should give up hope or double down, this video is exactly what you need right now. You know what? I'm going to answer the biggest question every Pi holder is asking. Can Pi Network actually reach $100, or are we all just chasing impossible dreams? Today, I'm breaking down the real math, the hidden developments happening behind the scenes, and why some experts are calling Pi a sleeping giant while others say it's game over. Don't go anywhere, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly where Pi is heading and what you should do about it. Before we dive deep into these game-changing insights, make sure to follow my Telegram and Facebook pages. The links are right there in the description below. You know what? That's where I share exclusive Pi Network updates and analysis that you won't find anywhere else on YouTube. Let's be brutally honest about where Pi stands right now. You know what the numbers tell us? Pi is currently trading at just $0.34, and that's actually close to its all-time low of $0.33 that we saw in late August. Remember when Pi was flying high above 120 back in May? Yeah, those days feel like ancient history now. The trading volume has been dropping, which means fewer people are actively buying and selling Pi in large amounts. But here's what most people don't realize. You know what makes this situation interesting? Pi once reached an $11.65 billion market cap and climbed to the 11th spot globally, with prices touching $2.90 per coin. This isn't some random meme coin that appeared overnight. Pi has proven it can move markets when the conditions are right. Now let's talk about that $100 target everyone keeps asking about. You know what the math looks like? To reach $10, Pi needs to climb more than 2,800% from current levels. But to hit $100, we're talking about an almost unthinkable 29,000% gain. That's not just ambitious, that's entering fantasy territory according to most prediction platforms. CoinCodex and other forecasting models don't see Pi reaching even $10 by 2050. You know what the biggest challenge is? Pi has nearly 8 billion tokens already in circulation. For Pi to reach triple-digit prices, we'd need demand levels that simply don't exist in the crypto market today. But hold on, don't close this video yet, because there's more to this story. Here's where things get interesting, and you know what? Some analysts like Dr. Altcoin are still incredibly bullish on Pi's long-term potential. Why? Because Pi has something most cryptocurrencies would kill for. 65 million users spread across more than 200 countries. That's a community size that makes established coins look small in comparison. You know what else Pi has been building? A working blockchain that's eco-friendly, fast and secure, plus a massive node network that just got a major boost with Linux support. While other projects rush to market, Pi has taken the slow road with KYC compliance and regulatory preparation. Dr. Altcoin argues this patience will pay off over a 5-year horizon, not in quick pump-and-dump cycles. But you know what's really exciting? There are some major developments happening behind the scenes that most Pi holders don't even know about. The Pi Core team just rolled out a Linux node release, which significantly strengthens the network's backbone. They're also preparing a protocol upgrade that will move Pi closer to Stellar's latest technology and possibly enable decentralized identity verification. Here's the big one that could change everything. You know what Valor's planning? They're set to launch a Pi ETP, which is an exchange-traded product that will let traditional investors gain exposure to Pi through regulated stock markets. This could help Pi break out of its pioneers-only bubble and attract institutional money. So, let's be real about timelines. You know what the evidence suggests? Pi reaching $100 in the next few years is highly unlikely based on current market conditions and token supply. However, a move to $5-10 over the next decade isn't impossible if Pi successfully builds real-world utility and adoption beyond its current community. The key factors to watch are ecosystem development, merchant adoption, and whether Pi can solve real problems that people are willing to pay for. You know what will ultimately determine Pi's price? Not hype or community size alone, but actual usage and demand for Pi tokens in real transactions. Look, I'm going to give you my brutally honest take after spending countless hours analyzing Pi from every angle. You know what Pi Network represents to me? It's the ultimate long-term crypto gamble with genuine potential but some serious risks that you can't ignore. Unlike most projects that live and die on quick exchange listings and hype, Pi is trying to carve its own lane by focusing on utility and community adoption first. That approach is rare in crypto, and while it's refreshing, it also means the road is much slower and filled with uncertainty. The potential is there, no question. Pi has millions of engaged users, a core team that's clearly thinking about infrastructure, and an ecosystem that could, if executed properly, make Pi more than just another speculative token. The idea of a cryptocurrency built into real-world apps and marketplaces is powerful, and if they can pull it off, Pi could genuinely change how people view digital money. But potential alone doesn't equal success, and that's where the gamble comes in. The risks are just as big as the rewards. There are still unanswered questions about regulation, scalability, and whether the core team can actually deliver everything they've promised. Then there's the market itself. Crypto is unforgiving, and pioneers won't wait forever if they feel their tokens aren't gaining value or real utility. So, yes, Pi Network could become one of the biggest success stories in crypto, if everything goes according to plan. The project has millions of users, a global reach, and a team that's clearly focused on long-term sustainability rather than short-term hype. If they can deliver on promises like real-world utility, regulatory compliance, and ecosystem growth, Pi could stand out as a unique case where patience actually pays off. In that scenario, holders who stick around could find themselves part of something far larger than just another speculative token. But the flip side is just as real. If the core team fails to address regulatory concerns, scalability issues, or community frustrations, Pi might lose momentum before it truly takes off. The crypto market moves fast, and pioneers won't wait forever if they don't see progress or value. That's why I see Pi as the ultimate gamble. It carries both enormous potential and equally significant risks. High risk, high reward, and in the end, only time will tell which side of the coin we'll land on. That $100 target everyone dreams about? Mathematically brutal in the short term, but you know what I've learned in crypto? Never say never when you're dealing with projects that have real foundations. Pi's got the user base, the technology, and now possibly institutional access. That's more than most coins can claim. If you're holding Pi right now, here's my advice. Don't expect miracles tomorrow, but don't throw in the towel either. You know what successful crypto investing has taught me? It's all about patience, managing expectations, and understanding that real value takes years, not months, to build. I personally think Pi might surprise us all, but it's going to be a marathon where most people drop out before the finish line. You know what separates winners from losers in this space? The ability to hold through boring times and trust the process when everyone else is panicking. What's your honest take on Pi hitting $100? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one, and I'll personally respond to the best ones. You know what would really help me keep bringing you this kind of in-depth analysis? Smash that like button if this video helped clarify things for you, subscribe for more Pi Network deep dives, and hit that notification bell so you never miss my latest research. Remember, crypto is full of surprises, and Pi's story is just getting started. Stay informed, stay realistic, but most importantly, stay hopeful, because that's what separates long-term winners from short-term quitters. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one, where I'll be diving into Pi's upcoming ecosystem developments.